Hello Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Denver, Colorado. And this is my buddy Puccini, who's interested in something on my hands. He keeps me company in the craft room. And we have a fun card for you today. It's a escape a little bit from Christmas, and I have a birthday card using our new set, which is the framed florets and framed florets stamp set, and then framed florets dies. And I'll show you here. We'll just get started. Here is my card, and it's so exciting because this die set has ovals. So for the very first time in a long time, we have ovals back from Stampin' Up! These are the dies, and this one is the one I used. This one with the little stripes around the edges, the one I used. But we have another one that cuts out an oval with just the hearts making the oval. Then we have this one, which is a bigger frame, and so I used this one, and I used one that's not on here. I've got it inside my card pieces, so I'll show that to you. So there's one other die with a lot of pretty leaves on it, which is where I got those. This is the stamp set, and called Framed Florets. It's going to be coming in January, on January 4th. I think it's available right now for customers. I used Wishes for a Beautiful Birthday, and it's got lots of nice sentiments here and flowers, and this is the leaf set. It's just gorgeous, and that's what I'm using today to make my card. So what you need to make this card, I used a thick basic white card base, and then there's that other die that is the leaves, and I left it attached so you could see. You really need a piece of scrap about that big to cut two of these leaves out to do what I did on this one. So then I have two pieces of Evening Evergreen, one for the inside and one for the outside. And then for the inside, I have a piece of white that is 3 3/4 by 5. And for the outside, I have some of this beautiful DSP that comes with this. And this is 3 3/4 by 5. Let me show you a little bit about the floral pattern here. I used this floral here, and the flowers and the paper is just gorgeous. It's got this blue background, which is picked up in these blue flowers here. That would make a kind of a fun combination. Then look at this. This you could even use for Christmas. It's got the white berries on it, and then it's got a pink in the back, and that's all shades of Evening Evergreen. Isn't that pretty? Just really pretty. Then this one is very unusual, with the white and the Night of Navy and the Evening Evergreen, and then blue, which I think might be Balmy Blue. Let's see what it says here. It is Balmy Blue, Blushing Bride, Crushed Curry, Evening Evergreen, Night of Navy, Polished Pink, and Soft Succulent. So that's the colors it's picking up that you see in here. Then this pretty soft succulent background, that would be pretty together too. Then this one that's got little clusters of flowers in this same basic pattern but tiny. And then this background here that's got those little hash marks. Then look at this one. It's very different with the red berries and the lighter blue and then the Night of Navy. And on the back is some of the polished pink. Very pretty. Very, very pretty paper. So I used this piece, which is 3 3/4 by 5. And I'll show you what I did to get this kind of an effect. All right, so the very first thing I did was, let's see, what else is in there? Oh, you get all of the rest of the pieces by cutting out this first piece. So let me show you how I did that. So I need my seal, and I need to attach this piece of paper to this Evening Evergreen piece. And so if I just put a little bit of seal in the corners, and then I found putting some also down here at the very top and the bottom, and I'm putting that on this card. And so there we go. Now what I did next was I took this oval from the die set and I placed that on my card here. Centered it, I kind of eyeballed it a little just to get it at the top and the bottom and then centered. And then we're going to use these pieces to create some of the rest of this. So take me just a second and I'll cut this piece out. There I have die cut my pieces, and what you get out of it is this piece from the center and then an Evening Evergreen piece like that, and it's those two pieces that I used on the inside of the card. And then you get two of these ovals that have the markings on them. And what I did was I used Evening Evergreen one here. So after I cut this piece out and I have all of these pieces left, what I did was put this piece, let me get these pieces out of here, and put this piece on the front of my card, and then I stamp my sentiment in there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put a little bit of seal on all of the places there and get that put down on the inside of my card. And I'm just going to add a little tiny bead of seal right along the top there, and then place this on the card. Now this means you have to do your stamping. I suppose you could draw your circle in and do your stamping, and so you would have the chance to do that, but I decided that I was just going to go ahead and put my piece down, and then I have my stamp here, which is wishes for a beautiful birthday. And then I have my Evening Evergreen ink that I'm going to stamp my message on the inside. And this is a very broad stamp, so it's easily stamped without a cushion. So I'm just going to set that right here kind of in the middle, and it doesn't rock because it's nice and big. And just make sure I get pressure down on all of the pieces here, and then pick it up, and it stamps beautifully. So no need to put a cushion under this. Good, because we're flying without a net here, having to do our stamping after we've kind of put our card a little bit together. That is that. Now then, what I did was I took this oval and I put this oval down on the inside of here, and for that I used a little bit of Tombow. And let me get my silicone mat out. Of course, you know, all of these die cuts have a right side and a wrong side, so I just put a bead of Tombow all the way around the inside of that oval. Then I used a pair of tweezers to pick this piece up and then lay it down, and because it's Tombow you get a little wiggle room and a little wiggle time, and you just need to get it set into the oval and then push it down and hold it for a second so Tombow gets its grip, and there we are. There we've got that perfect little frame in on our card. Now then, I did die cut out ahead of time my leaves, which I showed you the die for. That's this die here. And I'm just going to go ahead and push these out. And I did 2 of them. And I'll show you here what I did. First of all, you have to get all of the little pieces out. And then on the outside, I cut this right along the spine of this leaf grouping and just put because I didn't like how far in these came to the inside. I like the idea of having a few leaves on the inside, but it just looked like too much. So I took my snips and I sliced a little bit of this end off, and then I went right up the stem of this, and I cut all of the leaves off and berries that were on that inside edge. Then I was able to put this piece here on the outside, and then I used some of these pieces that I cut away for my pieces on the inside. And then on the inside of the card, I just did the reverse. I used the inside of the stem and a few extra leaves there to do my decorating. And these two pieces, this is the only piece I didn't use. There's that piece there, and then I cut away a little bit of the stem here to use on the inside bottom of this. And then I have some more leaves which I can take off of here, all from that same first sprig of leaves, and cut this off. And then this can go right on here up near the top. So that's how I got that look. And then on the inside of the card, I just put these two pieces together. So I added a little bit of snail on the inside back of this, like this, and put these two pieces together, like that. And that became the decoration for the inside of the card. So I have my piece of Evening Evergreen for the inside of the card, which can just go ahead and go on the card. And I have taken to putting a little less of the seal down, because if you have to pick something up, it's real sticky and it's hard to get up. So because it's real sticky, it holds pretty well even with that smaller amount. All right, now to the piece of white, same thing, put some on the corners and a piece in the middle, and center this on the inside of my Evening Evergreen. Then these two pieces are ready to go down here. You can put them up or down. I thought it might be kind of fun and more interesting to put them on this way. So now I'm going to add a little bit of seal to the back of this piece and get that ready to go on the inside of my card. And then it's a matter of where you like it. And I kind of like the Evening Evergreen to the top. And so I just put this on here. And then I trimmed this one. What I was using was the inside of the stem. So again, I cut off the edge and then came up the inside to cut off these leaves on the outside. And then we've got lots of extra leaves left to do whatever we'd like to do with those extra leaves. So this one ended up coming right along here on the bottom without that border on the bottom. I think that looks real nice. Let's go to the outside of the card and finish that. So I have this branch of leaves that I'm going to add there, and I'm just going to use my Tombow to put that in place. I'm going to squeeze a little bit of Tombow out so that I can easily just dot the back here of where I want a little bit of Tombow to go on the outside of the leaves and on those berries. It really worked out pretty well to get a little bit of Tombow in all of the places that I wanted to get it. And then again, taking my tweezers and picking that up and putting it in place right right up here along the outside of that oval, just to go into place right up there. And if I just hold that for a second, Tombow gets its grip, and then I have all of these other little leaves here to put on the inside of the ovals. So now I'm going to add the piece to the back or the inside of the card, and again I'm going to do that same thing, picking up a little bit of my Tombow and squeezing a little bit out so I have plenty to pick up from. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to set it on the inside of my card right along this edge and get that piece to curl up a little bit, and then there, that's now put into place. Now I have all of these other leaves. I do want to put a few coming down on this side, so again picking up my Tombow, as long as I still have it right there, I might as well do these and get them put into place. And put it into place right along in here. And I think that just dresses it up so nice. So the other thing that I did is I took some regular rhinestones and I used my Stampin' Up! Blend, and I think I used, this one is the light Evening Evergreen, and what I did was I just colored a couple of these rhinestones, I think 3 was all I used, and then put those in place on my card. So I did one right up here, I put one right in here. It just depends on where the florals are, which way you want to do it. And then this one I kind of put down in this area here. And so there we have that. And I did use a tiny piece of twine. I tried using Evening Evergreen ribbon and it was just too much. So I tied a small bow out of my linen thread, pulled it down because I didn't want a very big bow, just a little something on the bottom. I like having texture on my projects. It just adds another little element and makes it feel finished. Okay, then I'm going to take my ribbon scissors and just cut off those ends, and a glue dot that I can roll into a little sausage, and I'm just going to roll that between my fingers to get a little bit of a sausage, and I'm going to place it right down here at the bottom of where I put those leaves and inside the frame, and I'm going to attach my little bow right down there. And so it has just a little bit of that texture. And that is the front of the card, pretty well done. So that is it. That is the project for the day. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I do so appreciate it. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, well, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Or you could join my team. It's always a good time to join Stampin' Up! It's $125 worth of product for $99, and if you're willing to wait, there will be a join offer again with celebration in January. But if you join now, you can get this on your starter kit. Isn't that just a gorgeous little card and stamp set? I'm in love with this, and I think there's a lot we can do with this. And there's the inside on the both of those, and I kind of feel like I want to put one rhinestone in the middle of this one because it looks a little bare, and I colored one extra one. So maybe I can stick one right in there and just add that to the inside. There we go. I do a prize draw every month. It's a $60 shopping spree on me, and you put yourself in the drawing by making an order of any size on my store, lbedinger.stampinup.net, and you can get to it through my blog, www.inkandingenuity.com. I'm a little behind on my posts there, but hopefully this week I should be able to get caught up. All of my craft fairs are done, and I think at some point I will come on and show you what kind of items I put in my craft fairs this year. My good partner and friend and colleague Sandy Ship and I did 2 this year, so it was all good. And it would be fun for you to see the projects perhaps that we used. It's very exciting. As a demonstrator, we could see the PDF now of the catalog that's coming in January. There's some beautiful things in there. And if you were to join as a demonstrator now, you get access to that, and we can order as demonstrators a full month early. So while the rest of you may start ordering from the new catalog in January, I think starting January 4th, if you're a demonstrator, you can start ordering on December 1st. And so you get some of the stuff ahead of time, and we can start showing you what we're getting. And so that's it for me today. I will be back soon with more cards and more projects. Bye.